Last song.
One more.
Last song is, let me pull up some notes here. Last song. Okay, the last song. How many times am I going to say that until I yield results? Okay, the last song. So actually I had a question. Oh, he's dead.
What?
The last song of this album is Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, originally recorded by Elton John.
He wrote the music and Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics.
So this song was written in 1974. So
wow. I would have guessed 1972.
That's really weird. I don't know why you would do that.
I don't either.
What to say about this song? I think that I knew of it, but I definitely didn't know all of the verses. That was like
a million of
there's
them.
a million. You can't know them all.
Oh.
Or maybe if you're cool, you know them all. But I remember being very, very excited about the arrangement of this song. I loved the idea of starting a cappella. I always think that's so impactful when singers do that. It showcases, first of all, that you have some sense of pitch because you have to come in out of nowhere.
Right.
And I think it also demonstrates you have a little bit of confidence, you know? You're able to kind of put yourself out into the silence for a few moments.
Yeah, but also you have an approach because the way you sing it has nothing to do with how Elton sang it.
No. So again, it's this kind of stylistic thing that it's my default. It's not something that I think about. It's how I sing. So this was interesting. I was trying to look up the background or the meaning of this song, and it seems like people are a little bit split, a little torn of what this song is actually about. So the first thing that I saw said that Elton in this song, he is singing to someone he's helped in the past and from whom he is now experiencing rejection, and he doesn't understand why. That seems like a valid interpretation. That makes sense. And then another thing I saw says that this song is about Elton seeking to save a dying relationship while he is endlessly trying to search for his true self. So the relationship is on the edge of complete breakdown because he doesn't have the best behavior for whatever reason, in whatever way. And he's fully aware of this, and he blames it on his inability to figure out his own emotions. And the chorus of the song is essentially him begging this person to don't give up on him. So they're kind of, I guess they're kind of similar.
The way I interpreted it, because I listened to it a lot of times, because a lot of, when you make these arrangements, you have to really listen.
Right.
And ideally, you really try to get inside what the lyric is, because that sort of informs what direction you're going to go.
Yeah.
Tonally. I thought it was him singing to himself.
Interesting.
The fact that he's not what the world thinks he should be, and he knows that he should honor who he really is.
Yeah.
But he also knows that he's a person, he's a public figure. There's it's taking a big chance.
Yeah.
That's the way I that's the direction I took when I put the together.
I think my interpretation when I was singing it is essentially kind of acknowledging that your flaws, that you're only human, you're not perfect, and you're admitting that in the song, right? But you're begging, for me, just the audience or the world, whoever, I don't know if it's a particular person, just don't totally give up just yet. There's still more to give, there's still more to see, there's still more that
the other part of that to consider is that Bernie Taupin's the one who wrote those words.
Yeah.
So what he wrote and what Elton sang, they're not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we have this whole project dedicated
a collaboration.
Well, yeah, it's the whole idea of perception, right? And perspective, and how here are words, here's this thing that exists, and you put it, with one human, and they're going to produce and something completely different than another human, right?
Going back to the whole a cappella chorus, because you sing
Yeah.
a chorus in front by yourself.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. It might have been a mutual thing.
I like the way you sing that, because you are singing the melody, but you're singing some ornaments. But
Oh, yeah.
But it's very restrained.
With the stuff that you give me, a lot of the times you provide ladies or guitars or whatever that have the part.
Guide melody. Yeah.
And again, how my brain works, I want to replicate the part. And I enjoy it. I get a sense of satisfaction when I can successfully replicate the part.
There's just something about the way you do it where it's artistic, it's individual certainly, but it's not self-indulgent.
No.
Once that a cappella thing, obviously you approach it like, okay, I'm going to deliver this, right? I'm going to deliver, and the lyrics are great, right?
It's a statement. You're making a statement.
It's great. Then once the song starts, you have these interminable verses to get through. And the thing that I didn't really notice so much at the time is that you pretty much are honoring the melody, but you're staying away from, and I don't know if this is by design, I'm going to ask you that, is you staying away from a lot of his inflections, like the stuff that he chose to do. You're not really doing that. You're not really doing alternate inflections. You're almost kind of staying with the melody, and I'll let you talk in a minute, but what's going on behind you is a very sort of ticking clock, static thing.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that why you chose to do that, or is it just your ears said just do it this way?
The most honest answer is the reason why I sung that song the way that I did is because of my range. And I love his inflections and things that he does, but some of it is a little bit too low for me to consistently hit. I tend to stay in that kind of range and in those particular notes of the verses because that's where the voice is most comfortable. I also like the idea, I don't know, maybe it's a little old-fashioned, or maybe it's just because I am related to you, but I do like the idea of, here's the song, any song really, here's the song, let's let the listener learn the song, and then once you kind of get past the first verse and the first chorus, then you can have fun later on, right? Further into the song, because then the listener is in on it. Like they can go, oh, okay, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit of an embellishment. Okay. And with Don't Let the Sun, the first slew of verses, I'm trying to keep them a little bit true to the melody. Right. And then once we have those moments and we have the first chorus, then I try to indulge a little bit in the later verses. But for the most part, I like what he wrote, man. And there are a couple of inflections of his that I try to replicate and I try to honor because I love it, So with that song, especially I think in the last chorus, I wrote a few ornamentations.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you about, because there's two choruses in the song. There's the one you sing it by yourself at the beginning, and then there's the primal scream in the middle. And it's funny because for the people who listen to it, it gets big and loud and almost too loud.
Yeah, it's chaos.
It's kind of chaos. And the only thing that makes it, not the only thing, but Christian Jacobs playing a beautiful piano solo. I remember when I asked him, I said, can you play a solo over this stuff? And he says, I'll try to do something. Yeah. Because it's not really kind of a piano solo thing, but he plays this beautiful kind of arpeggio. He finds a motive and he kind of keeps twisting around. Right. And as he does that, this thing builds and builds and builds, and it gets really loud, and you're thinking, okay, it's kind of almost uncomfortable. And then you come in and you sing that chorus again, but the way you sing it has nothing to do with how you sang the original one.
No.
And that's what makes the arrangement really work, because you come in and it's not really like a scream. It's just
more power.
It's just power and emotion. It's like this kind of where you're really kind of letting
you're
it
giving
on.
it your all. Yeah.
And then it drops down to nothing after that. It's cool. I'm really happy with it.
That's why I personally wanted to save it for last on this album, because it's a beast, and again, it takes you on a little bit of a ride with everything that it does. But
really hard to mix for poor Paul.
Yeah, Paul did a great job, man.
He did. Because when we recorded the bass and drums, that was another one. We recorded the piano, bass, and drums at the same time on that one. And I remember being in the studio and Ray is just going for it on this thing. And I remember thinking to myself, because my part is kind of notey and hard, and I'm like, okay, concentrate, but I'm producer trying to think.
Yeah, right.
I remember thinking to myself, how am I going to make this work? Paul's like, do we have a take where the drums aren't playing quite so? I said, nope. Gotta make it work. So yeah, that's fun. It's fun to listen.
It's great, man.
The beautiful thing about the order that you came up with here, and even Paul said, he said sonically it's just doing this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
Which is really, really cool.
I wanted to that's how I listen to my own personal music and my playlists. I like to not be able to anticipate what's coming next.
Yeah.
It's kind of a chaotic thing. So be listening and be in one mindset or mood, and then the next thing is the complete opposite, or, something on. So I like that. I like the roller coaster kind of.
Yeah, What's your favorite song from the project known as Blurred?
I'd probably say Summer Breeze, I think, is my favorite. You remember that one? You're looking around like you don't remember it.
Yeah, I was trying to think if I like one better than that.
That was, again, the hardest one for me to sing. And hearing it at every step of the transformation, because I first sang it in the Doghouse studio, and that was a long time ago. And that was hard. And then flash forward a few years, and we have a little bit of an upgraded home studio, and I sing it again, a little bit more confidence. It's coming together a little bit more. And then Paul got his hands on it, and oh my gosh, it's like seamless. The arrangement of Time in a Bottle is it's pretty unparalleled, in my opinion.
I think that one kind of is the best sort of indicator of what we do.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I would say.
Exactly.
Like, what do they do? Play that song. That's what they do.
Yeah. That's why it's number one. Yeah.
Speaking of number one, wait till part two, because part two blows part one out of the water. Well, hopefully this gives you a fresh perspective on Blurred.
Yes. Part one of Blurred and Obscured.
A little more vodka.
All right.
Time for a big party night.
We hope you enjoy Blurred, and keep an ear out for part two, Obscured. It's coming to the world very, very soon.
All right, Kalen, I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you. I'm your biggest fan.
As it should be. All right, signing off.
Signing
Enjoy
off.
the music.
Woohoo! Bye.